So now let us do an example to apply what we have learned so far. So here what we have to do, we have to do 5 to 6 iterations of a bisection method to calculate the root of cubic equation, where cubic equation is given by x cube minus 2x minus 5 in this example, and it is given that root lie in the interval 2 and 3. So first we have to check whether this condition is correct or not. Unsure. So first we have to calculate f2. F2 will be given by 2 cube minus 2 into 2 minus 5, which will be given by 8 minus 4 minus 5, which will be 8 minus 9 is equal to minus 1, which is less than 0. And f3, whose value will be given by 3 cube minus 2 into 3 minus 5, which is equal to 27 minus 6 minus 5, which we can see it is strictly greater than 0. So here we have a, here we have b, here we have something negative, here we have something positive value, so we can apply bisection method in this interval. So to apply bisection method in this interval and to keep track of what we did, I will make a table. So this table will look like this. So first of all, we will write n. N will represent our iteration value, iteration count. Then we write the value of an. Then we write the value of bn. Then we write the value of fa, or we just bothered about the sign of fa. Fb, here should be a and bn. Then we calculate midpoint of a and b. Then we calculate f of p. Again, we will be only bothered about its sign. And yeah, so for n equal to 1, we are given a is equal to 2, or we can say that it is 0 if we starting from 0. Then a is given by 2 and b is given by 3. F of an was less than 0 and f of bn was strictly greater than 0. You will see that it is always the case that f of an will be less than 0 and f of bn will be strictly greater than 0, because we started with these conditions. Then p value will be given by 2 plus 3 upon 2, midpoint of interval 2 and 3. So midpoint will be 2.5 and the function value at 2.5 is given by 5.6250, which is greater than 0. So bn will be replaced by p. So at n equal to 1, an will remain same, but bn will be replaced by 2.5. So again, this will be less than 0 and this will be greater than 0. Now midpoint of 2 and 2.5 is given by 2.25. And you can check the function value is given by 1.890625. Again, this is positive value, so bn will be replaced by this. So n is equal to 2, a will remain same, and p will replace b. Yeah, p is replaced. So f of an will be less than 0, f of bn is greater than 0. Midpoint of 2 and 2.25 is given by 2.125, and we can see that its midpoint value function will give the value 0.345703. Again, this is greater than 0, so we will simply update b. So this will be 2 and this will be 2.125. This will be less than 0, this will be greater than 0, and midpoint of 2 and 2.125 is given by 2.0625. Function value at p is given by minus of 0.35132. Here we can see that f of p is less than 0. So new value of a will be replaced by p. At iteration number 4, this will be given as 0.0625 and b will remain as it is. Here a was 0.0625 and value of f of this value is less than 0, so here also this value will be less than 0 and this will be greater than 0. Midpoint will be given by 2.09375 and function value at this point is given by minus of 0.008942, which we can see is very close to 0 in comparison to previous iteration. Let's do one more iteration. Here we have f of p less than 0, so p will replace a. Here we have 2.09375, b will remain as it is, sin will remain these, and p value will be given by 2.109375 and its value will be given by 0.166836. here we can see that this value of p was very close to 0, but this value of p is not close to 0. Can we deduce something from it? So let us calculate the value of an and bn, difference between them, length of interval. So here length of interval will be 3 minus 2 equal to 1. Here it will be 0.5, here it will be 0.25, here it will be 0.125, here 0.0625, here 0.03125. So now let us calculate the difference between actual root and our calculated root. Actual root can be given by 2.0946. This you can check. Well, this is not exact solution. There are some decimal places, but I omitted them for sake of simplicity. Then we have to calculate the difference between actual root and our calculated root, which we assume it is given by p. So here the difference is 0.4504. At next step our difference is 0.1554. At next step you can calculate it is 0.0304. At next step it is 0.0321. At next step it is 8.5 into 10 raised to power minus 4. And at last step we have error of 0.014. We can compare these values and we can see that we have mod of p minus x is always less than length of interval. This is guaranteed. But one thing we can't say that how much close will each p will be, because in this stage we can see that p was very close to actual root, but in next stage our error was increased. So this is not a contradiction here. We can simply talk about this upper bound. These values depend on function to function, but what we can do for surety is that we can guarantee that this difference will be always less than these values.